And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut, it's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction.
There's a lot to talk about, and we don't know what we're going to talk about. We are winging it like nobody's business, like a bucket of chicken. Depends on your mood. You like the original recipe? Get the original recipe. You like the crispy?
Did someone
Get
say
the crispy.
Did someone say chicken?
Yeah.
Yes.
Funny story about that. Just
we're going to we are going to talk to our two noomers about their calorie counting gimmicks. But first, we say, you know what, guys? Fuck it. Welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Chris Burns here, lower left corner. We got the Possum King himself.
Chris Lynch, the Paul Volton Panus of North Southeast Connecticut.
Oh, sweet.
I wanted to talk about that pole vault guy later, man.
We are going to talk about that. I want to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine too.
Oh, okay. I like that. That was good.
Left out of the opening theme song because Herm was asleep at the wheel. We welcome back Mr. Matt Marsh.
Absolutely.
Yay, Matt Marsh.
Tonight, he will definitely not be thinking things through. And, of course, the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair. Michael.
Right.
Big Herm. P.S. Big Botch. Herman.
What is up?
How many more nicknames could I have thrown at you? You're like Apollo Creed with these nicknames.
Oh, I remember that.
He's the Apollo Creed of podcasting.
He is the master of disaster, the king of sting, the count of Monte Fisto. How many more nicknames you got? We're almost done.
We're almost done.
We're almost there.
We're almost done. We're almost done.
There.
Relax.
You know, I bought Sylvester Stallone's new book. Long book, 821 pages, but it's all one word. Hey, Sylvester Stallone, I'm going to tell you my life story. It started about 400 years ago when I was a young man, and this is how it went.
Not a comma or a period to be found.
Not anything but a run-on word.
No, just one 800-page sentence.
That's it.
Nary a punctuation mark.
Well, no. You could throw in what is it? The three dots. The
ellipses.
The ellipses.
Semicolon.
Colon. Semicolon.
You could throw in just the ellipses, just three dots here and there, just when he pauses.
I like the three dots.
That's it. But for 800 pages, that the only punctuation you see
is
one capital letter, and one sentence, and things are
you don't want to hear this, but that's not us up there no more. We're becoming like normal people.
The only other capital letters in the entire 800-page book is if it's a proper fucking noun. That's it.
Or the word yo.
Well, maybe if he's like he's yelling at yo, he was loud, but yeah.
It's like, I'll give you a call. I'll lean out the window, go, hey, Father, come on.
I love that guy.
I love it when he does that. Rocky, go back to get that. Yeah, I know. The fight's in 20 minutes. I just need you.
I love when he does that.
Could you just kind of throw down a couple blessings? One, that I do good, and two, that I don't get my head knocked in. Go para que eres
Alfredo de Mido.
Go bye-bye.
Oh, so the pole vault guy. Oh my God. I was at work, got the TVs on, all different Olympic stations. And that first attempt he made where he had to grab the bar.
That
was nuts.
Lost the medal because he literally got his dick caught in the door.
Whatever it was, I just saw him grab onto the bar, and they said, well, he has a choice. He could take another attempt, and then he clears it, sets the world record, kisses his beautiful girl in the stands. I was like, no, not me, because you get that pole and it bends, and your body is straight up in the air, and you got to twist your shit over the bar. Knowing me, I'd let go too early, fall straight down, and crack my skull on the concrete.
We're talking about that pole vaulter. I thought we were talking about the one who got his dick hung up on the pole and lost the medal.
No, that's the one Lynch wants to talk about. I want to talk about the record-setting guy.
Let's talk about the guy with the big dick.
Let's talk about the penis.
So,
wow. Writing this down. Marsh talks about the penis.
Let's talk about the guy
those who aren't caught up on the Olympics. We're not really watching it actively. We watched it for like the first 5 days, and Megan watched all the sports she wanted to watch. And I'm catching it on reruns on Peacock. Peacock! Peacock! Cock!
Which one you posted about the Snoop Dogg thing?
Which one?
earlier today.
Which
That
which
was-
one?
That
Wait,
was
that was him.
so dead on. Me and my wife have been talking about that for like 2 weeks, and then somebody brought that up, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
For real, like I remember people telling me they were ashamed that they knew that they were so ashamed that what are you listening to? Oh my god, and
Right.
Mom, my mother called me the other day and she's like, wanted to tell me how much she's thoroughly enjoying Snoop Dogg at the Olympics and how awesome he is, and I had to fucking remind her that she grounded me once for buying his CD.
Well-
That meme, like that's the truth. Like,
Well, wasn't it Ice-T who sang "Cop Killer" or whatever?
People and selling drugs.
Yeah, same deal there. It's
No,
like
Ice-T,
freaking, I get the shit
that would
for
be
that.
like having Ice-T at the Olympics.
and
Ice-T
now,
would
no,
never
but now
sell-
they're like, "Oh, I
Ice
love
would
these
never
on
sell
Law
out
and
like
Order.
that,
I don't watch them for years."
Okay, yeah, I'm going to go with Matt on that one. John in the comment section says Stallone has made more money in business than movies. That's true, and he's a smart guy. We're just making fun of the way he
Yes,
talks.
absolutely.
No-
So Schwarzenegger.
Nothing against the guy. We all love Stallone's movies, The realism.
I'm
It's
I'm
fucking real.
actually excited about the season 2 of Tulsa King. I got to be honest.
So
Yeah.
am I.
I watched the first 3 of that, put it down for like 4 months, and then
Yeah.
finally
That
watched
and
the
the
rest,
other one that I
now-
really wish was 1923. We never got season 2 on that, and I'm so
Yeah.
disappointed.
I'm gonna go to
Yes,
Ma-
it's
I'm gonna go to-
still
I'm gonna go to
supposed
Matt's
be coming,
point.
but-
My dad, God rest him, and my mom
Oh,
loved Law and Order. And when I was down there for my dad's passing,
Hey, you lawyer guys.
you don't know Herman, I are watching you while
Wow.
we're high. And his character's on there. I'm like, you know who that is, right? She goes, oh yeah, that's Officer What's His Nuts. I'm like, no, that's Ice-T,
Roll up. Yeah.
the rapper. He's a rapper.
Oh, he's not just a rapper.
Remember that album that they'd never policed my music ever.
Right. Obviously.
They asked me never to play one
at
song.
6 a.m. sneakers squeaking on the kitchen floor.
Yeah,
But it's that Ice-T.
yeah.
So anyway,
No, but they go to finish it up.
Well, like,
yeah,
like the kid, LL
when the
Cool J was a rapper. Oh
when
my
the
god,
body
LL Cool J is a rapper.
when the body
I thought he was
count
on
record came
NCIS.
out, when the body count record came out,
great.
they can
album.
hear. You can hear it through the walls, through the neighbor's walls, the neighbor's walls, and that was the one song. It finished playing. Knock on the door. It's Dad. I don't ever want to hear that song ever again. Done.
Don't play Cop Killer ever
Yeah.
again.
In the house. I get in the car, get halfway down the block. Da, 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 da. Great fucking record, though.
Not play Cop Killer again.
It had the best and the worst ballad in history on that record.
It's great. I fucking love
The
it.
music was tight, but Ice-T trying to sing a ballad about his friend dying of an overdose lyrically was the worst shit you ever heard.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
winner loses.
Yeah.
Or the winners lose. I don't give a fuck.
So anyway, back to the pole vault and
Pole
penis.
penis. Yes.
So the guy from France,
Of course he's from
From
France.
France, who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk it?
playing for the home team.
That would be Monsieur Penis.
Oh yeah.
Bonjour.
So he's going for,
Oui, oui.
I want to say it was a gold medal. He could have gotten a gold medal in the pole vault. Gets up and over the pole vault, and as he's twisting where his belly would rub against the pole vault, his dick
completely
knocks
misses the bar. His dick
knocks the bar down.
knocks the fucking bar down. Like, and not just like
Now-
knocks it down, bro. Like, not just like grazes it. You literally see the look. You literally see.
You can see the dick go like
his
this over
dick
the bar.
come down
It's like
on the
drags
bar, and you can see it almost like catch.
like that.
Like he
Like flop over the
Like-
top of it.
he hits it like and it accentuates this one section in his pants. Like he didn't just tap it. Like he fucking straight on smacked it. He hit it hard.
Damn.
Let's
Yeah,
go to the
like and
replay. Bob.
literally just
Yeah.
right. For
Speaking,
real.
that is
It's
the most
whole thing.
entertaining part of the whole thing. Is that when they
Replay?
go to the replay, They zoom in on his dick as it's rubbing over the fucking pole.
And they slow
Over
it
and over and over again.
down.
So it's like the Olympics meets OnlyFans.
For real, it's like Grinder meets the Olympic. It's fucking horrible.
He got a $250,000 contract offer from some little porn site.
Yeah, like
Immediately.
that for real. That bet money just based on the film, how big his dick is,
Right.
and they want it in a film. I was like, okay.
I mean, I've seen a lot of things at the Olympics.
Have you?
Oh, in my lifetime, yeah, a lot of crazy things. Nancy Kerrigan and what's her name?
Tanya Harding. Yep.
Tanya Harding.
Yeah, that was.
You see the likes of these world class athletes breaking records left and right, and then you have a
Never
dick.
seen a porn career start at the Olympics.
Never, and I see you see a dick.
Yeah, you did. Tanya Harding.
Aha!
That didn't really make a porn career. That was
tape
just a one
awful.
time.
That's literally
tape
all she
was-
had. That's all
Oh,
she had.
it was
left.
awful.
That's all she had. That's all she had to resort to that. Let's put it there.
Yeah,
Oh,
she had a little
Tanya.
pancake. She had little pancake
Oh.
titties.
It's
Yeah.
just the whole everything.
But yeah,
about it.
Oh my God.
I've
There
never
was no
seen a dick.
Kardashian film.
I've never seen a dick become the star of the Paris Olympic or of the Olympics period, and that man's dick is the shining star of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Maybe if he
outside
gets
of
the
the
silver,
fact-
the dick should get the bronze.
Right. Outside of the
He's gonna hang
fact
it
that
from the
that
neck.
there was a woman who was allegedly a man who's actually a woman, but the more
Yep.
concerning person being the pedophile rapist that was allowed to play volleyball on the Dutch men's volleyball team.
Yeah, I had forgotten about him.
Yeah, I
Only
mean, like
because-
basically they have the Natalie Holloway killer on the Dutch team is basically what it amounts to.
Kind of, yeah.
Pretty much
Um,
the same type of person.
They have
This guy
different
traveled. This guy
standards.
traveled by train to another country to have sex with a 13-year-old.
12.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
12 at the time of the occurrence. He was 19.
Yep.
And
James and Jimmy covered him on Crime and Sports, and I just remember the story itself just sickened me. And then Jimmy was the one that brought it to my attention. It's like, remember that guy we did on the show, Sven Gali, or I don't know what his fucking name is. I'm like,
These
yeah,
European countries, man, they're a little different.
you can say that again. As far as that boxer is concerned, I did dig a little deeper into that. I didn't want to say shit out loud because for fear that, I don't like to backtrack anything. I want to say what I mean and mean what I say and hopefully have some facts to back it up. There was a test done by the IBO that, yes, a woman, but has, I guess, was born, now they call it intersex, but has
it's
more,
more
but has
hermaphrodite.
more female.
Yeah, she's got chromosomal issues.
Yeah.
and not to the not
Not
to
a
the
full
Down,
hermaphrodite.
not the Down syndrome. Right, her body produces
More
both
testosterone.
stuff, both sexes. Her body
Mhm.
like physically like
Right.
produced as a woman and is a woman and developed as a woman, but all of that basically her body produces like a men's testosterone level
Mhm.
all the time.
right.
Because
And to
she
find
does
that-
the male gene that's
Yeah.
Found a
She was-
loophole.
She was born with a vagina.
it's the
Um,
the Chinese girl is also the exact same
Right.
way. They're just
Yeah.
freaks that have
And they probably
of
can't
nature, you know what I mean?
reproduce.
Just
And
it's
it
just a
happens
freak
one
of nature thing.
Yeah.
it happens in one in every couple 100,000 people. There is
Mhm.
such a thing as intersex people. People have to realize we all start as female in the womb. We all start as female in the womb. Our gonads, our testes, descend into our little ball sack. If you're destined to be a boy,
Give me a ball sack.
so
Well, yeah,
Well,
it's
the
actually
ovum-
it's actually a sex nub. There's a
Yeah.
sex nub. It either develops into a penis or it develops
goes
into a clitoris. It develops. It stays as a clitoris.
Yeah.
and the vagina grows around it, and that's
correct.
what, basically
God
what
damn,
happens.
we're talking about a lot of cock tonight.
Yeah,
The
we are.
ovum-
Yeah, I
The
know.
ovum
See?
become
This is-
testes.
We're doing this for you, man.
So you
Thanks.
get a little science with your low class humor as well. So you're
Little
learning
science.
shit tonight.
Okay,
I mean, we're
Bill
not.
Nye.
We're
Bill Nye, the penis guy.
Hey, there you go.
Jesus Christ. The fuck is wrong with these people?
Oh,
No,
That
but
would be
to watch the general public lose their fucking
Yeah.
minds. Like I got past real early because I'm aware of obviously The Last Supper and I'm aware of Dionysus. And
yeah.
I got past that real quick. I didn't understand the fat Smurf guy, but I understood.
That was Dionysus.
That's
Dionysus was always purple. He was bathed because he
Okay.
drank so much,
very large.
drank so much, and bathed in wine. It was all of that.
It was all
And
about
he
gluttony.
was all covered he was half naked but covered in grape leaves.
Mhm.
Okay, so I got past that to watch the general public talk about that. I could see the parallels, but again, the Olympics are a Greek festival. Dionysus is one of those people that is so steeped in the Greek history that just leave it alone. They weren't mocking
my God.
Christianity.
The Olympics went fucking woke and
Well,
gay. Hello. Can I?
They've always
introduce
been woke and gay.
I would like
And
to-
it
can I
started
introduce you
in
to
Greece.
ancient- Can I introduce you to ancient
Hello?
Greece?
The Greek army never leave their
Yeah.
buddies behind.
Never leave their
Yes.
buddies behind. Why did the little Greek boy cry when they moved? Because he didn't want to leave his buddies behind.
But all of a
That's right.
sudden, gay's a problem.
Right?
But when this thing about this boxing, right? When this boxing thing came out, I wasn't going to jump on it. I couldn't. So thankfully, I want to give a lot of credit to Mandy for pointing me in the right direction. She goes, when you go through the IBO or any sort of boxing or martial arts, you take these tests. She obviously
Not
made
all
it
of
through.
them. And there's a reason that actually
For that level of competition.
for
Yes.
that particular organization, yes, the IBF or the IBO or whatever they're
IBO.
is actually been dropped by the Olympics because they have there's several scandals that they are involved with right now. There are some serious claims against some very uninclusive policies that are almost that border on the verge of being against somebody's rights.
Okay.
And the Olympic
My
Committee
810.
and the Olympic Committee, because of all of these issues, dropped the IBO as their sanctioning body. But yeah,
Okay.
depending, because you've got IBO, you have IBA, you have IBF, you have IBC. These are all different boxing commissions.
Yep. The WBF, the WBA.
You know what I mean?
But to go, she had to go through the IOCC, which is not a huge test. They do test your levels for A, steroids, B, abnormalities. And like you said, if she's producing testosterone versus estrogen at a 20 to 80 level, you're okay. It falls well within, like if you're taking a substance that is prescribed by a doctor, the allowed limit in the Olympics is 15-1, 15 testosterone to epitestosterone if you're taking steroids. It was not even close to that. It was so far beyond that. Consider this, just to equate it to the steroid thing and how much testosterone to epitestosterone.
Steroids without it killing her.
Exactly.
Basically, she couldn't produce that much testosterone without it physically destroying her body inside of 6 months.
The Olympics
to work up to that
right.
level. It would
The Olympics allow on a therapeutic level 15-1. WWE and UFC will give you a 10-1 ratio. Consider that when Chris Benoit died, he was at a 4-1. That means he was running on fuel.
Right.
Not food, not anything, not adrenaline, not corn on the cob. He was running on steroids. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm surprised he didn't grow bitch tits or whatever, and he didn't have a chance. He hung himself. But the Olympics, they go through this vetting process. I don't know why it's so hard for the general public to understand certain things that we have to explain every couple of weeks, much like, the vetting process of the DNC, which is coming up, which I have a real issue with, but it was a foregone conclusion. We're going to get over it. That girl, and I'm going to say it, that girl, does she look a little manly? Sure. So did China. So did Nicole Bass, the weightlifter. So what's the girl's name that kicked the shit out of Ronda Rousey? Holly Holm.
Mhm.
She looks a little manly. Not as manly as Fallon Fox, who actually has a dick and cracked a girl's skull. But that's on the UFC for letting that go.
Well, and I also got a kick out of watching people who are on my list on Facebook.
Oh, did you
Um,
see the Reds extremes lose their shit? And even after it came out, they're like, I still don't care. That's a girl.
Right.
That's a fucking girl. That's a man. That's a girl. That's
The
I'm
who?
like, man, that's just
Slow your roll.
like yeah, like
Well-
and you're seeing it out of people like I can't believe this is who you've become 20 years after. Like, I look around and I'm like, man, like some of you are really just old fucking grandpa men. Like not I'm not talking about the panel. I'm just looking at the list and I'm like, wow, some of you just sound fucking.
Well, and then I
Oh.
saw a lot of the opposite, that if these people who 25 years ago thought every dick and fart joke that came across the pike was the funniest fucking thing in the world,
Mhm.
they're now saying, if you don't believe a trans woman is a real woman, then get off my friends list.
Oh yeah, a friend of
I mean,
ours,
Yeah.
a friend of ours, Lynch. How many times you didn't want to do something or drink something or eat something, would tell you take the skirt off, bitch.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I don't really care about their point of view, honestly, and they can fuck off because
Mhm.
this wasn't a trans issue at all.
Mm-mm.
And
But they
after
made-
immediately finding
that's
out
my-
the story and saying I
that's my
wanted to
entire
wait
point,
and doing
Herm.
some research, yeah, like I this wasn't a trans issue, and that was my issue with this was not a trans issue. This is a biological females issue, and this is a biological females fight. This is not a
Well-
trans issue.
what were you saying,
Well, and
Lynch?
that was my whole entire point, is that the people, even after it came out that she is a female, they're still perpetuating the fact that they're still calling her a trans woman, that it's a man that is portraying themselves as a woman, and they're dying on that hill. Dummy, they just said she's a woman. Are you that
What they're-
fucking dense?
what they're
Are you
grabbing
that fucking
onto-
dense? They-
What
It's
they're
right,
grabbing
so the
onto?
Chromosomes are
illusion.
correct. Her genes are different.
What they're grabbing
Right.
onto is that some fighting organization that she tested for years ago, I don't know, the last couple 3-4 years, they call it a gender test, but because she had
IBO.
that the Y chromosome was detected,
It's the IBO.
that's where this all started. Was it the IBO?
That's why that test, their restrictive policies, as well as those some other incidents, like I said, is the reason the Olympics dropped them. The Olympics not using them went down to testing for drugs, testing for
I'll be
performance,
right back.
and left it at that. There was her passport says she's a woman. It's issued from Algeria, for fuck's sake. Do you think they're that liberal fucking there?
No.
Okay, do you think I don't give a
homosexuality
fuck
is illegal.
even if it was a he? Do you think his passport was gonna say it? Not in Algeria, bitch.
Nope.
Not
Basically, it turned out. Look, and I don't know if have you guys actually watched the whole some of the fights the Italian girls had?
I have not.
Mhm.
Did you watch the beginning of the fight?
I did.
She misses 3 fucking punches. She can't fight
Yep.
worth the shit. She is totally outclassed within the first 3 shots, and she knew it. And
She's not a good boxer.
No, she's horrible, and I called it right off the rip because the immediate was, look, if you're outraged that she's a he, be outraged that she's a he, own it. But the whole, I'm not trying to say anything, but she hit exceptionally really fucking hard, and I'm just saying, I don't want to call anybody out or offend anybody. But, just take what I'm implying and use your transphobia to pick up on it. And they motherfucking did.
And the media went fucking nuts with it. Social media and our mainstream media went nuts with it. And then it just kind of got squashed.
Well, because
But
there really wasn't a story.
what the real story, what they're burying the lead is the fucking pedophile rapist. They bury that lead, which is more concerning to me, he's in Olympic Village. He has access to little children, minors, 13 years old.
Yeah, 13-year-old.
He has
13 and
indirect-
14-year-old gymnasts.
indirect
Don't-
access, as indirect as the access may be. It's like putting a shark in a
The
tank full of dead fish.
outside the common area is just a big fish tank, bro.
Yeah, it's not chaperoned, is it?
You know what I mean? Like
For the minors,
they're only
has to
allowed-
be chaperoned.
they're only allowed to leave the Olympic Village by bus. They're allowed to leave by bus,
And
they're
they need
allowed
to get
come back
permission.
in by bus. If they do not leave by bus, they're actually not allowed to come in the entrance that buses come in, and they have to go around to the front, and you're not allowed to come in the back security door in private vehicles anymore. Only
There was
on vetted buses.
There was an incident early on in the Olympics where a female, I can't remember the country, she left the Olympic Village on foot and met with her boyfriend and had dinner, and she got in some pretty big trouble because
Is
she
that
didn't get
the one
permission to
that-
leave. She didn't get
That's not the
permission to
one that got
leave.
kicked out.
No, the one
There
that got
was a
kicked out
swimmer.
is the girl who,
An
because
Italian.
she's from Paraguay.
Oh, that's right. You're right, and it's something
Paraguay,
about
they're really-
she compromised the integrity of Olympic Village.
Because-
was the headline.
No, because she's wearing her own swimsuits that actually fit her physique. Not
Okay,
the
because they
Olympic-
wouldn't even tell in
the-
the article today specifically why they booted her.
not the Olympic issued
Yeah,
uniform as issued by her country. She came out and say because of the way she's shaped, she can't wear that because it's uncomfortable. She's wearing her own swimsuits. So because she's wearing her own swimsuits and they're a little bit more revealing in certain areas, she's built
okay.
like a brick shit house. She's got a big butt,
Yeah, I saw her.
big bubble butt. Okay. So God
My-
forbid somebody
kind
do
of
something
woman.
for comfort, for her own comfort, and they're going to punish her for it. That's bullshit as far as I'm concerned. If she were
Okay,
hanging out with, if her clam was hanging out and her clit was free balling it in the air, fine. Or she's walking around topless, fine. That's a bad
Right.
example.
But how uncomfortable
she's-
could the swimsuit really be?
You've seen how far up those people's asses those things go.
I
Look,
do.
Would you want to walk around for hours at a time?
I mean, some of these broads do. I don't know.
How many edibles have I had?
Yeah.
Me?
Am I drunk enough? No, Herm's asking
Well-
to wear the swimsuit.
Like to wear the swimsuit with that up my ass like that. How many edibles have I had? In
I
the
had
end?
not enough. I
So
hate,
just
I hate
saying,
having
like,
a wedgie.
give me a
Every
number.
one of us has a job. Every one of our jobs has certain requirements that you have to meet. The Olympics are no different. You want to run on the track team, you wear the track outfit. You want to play for the Yankees, you wear the Yankee uniform in the way that it's tailored and made. Yes, they can work around you, but this is the garb. Wear the fucking garb. Why risk all your training, all of everything because the
Years.
suit doesn't fit right?
She retired anyway, so what's a big fucking deal?
That's
Yeah,
not nice. We call them.
at
We
what,
call those
19?
people. Yeah, we call those people mentally challenged. We don't use that word anymore, Lynch.
Retarded?
Yeah, that's
You
the
call me
one.
retarded? No, retired. I don't want to get canceled. twice.
Retired. right?
Um,
So I get it.
Yeah,
I
but-
mean, there are rules that you have to live by. Sure, if I were her, could you ask for a concession and, state your case? Sure, you could.
she probably did, and she was probably
The
told
worst
no,
thing
and
you're
she
gonna
probably
hear
said,
is-
"Fuck it."
Yeah, the worst thing you're going to hear is no.
Well,
That's it.
yes or no. You get two possible choices.
Yeah.
Oh, my back is itchy. Oh, here we go.
She retired from
There we
swimming. She'll be doing something else very soon.
OnlyFans.
Mhm.
Yeah. What? From Paraguay, she'll be like a swimsuit model or something.
Child
She'll- or
trafficker.
she'll be a brand sponsor for some bikinis
Oh,
or
yes. Gonna have
Hawaiian Tropic or
sponsorships.
whatever.
And it does
Yeah.
not. And it does not ride up your ass.
Or maybe she
Yeah.
becomes a lawyer.
Maybe.
Well, if
Or-
she's smart, that's her plan after the fact. Yeah, that's what a
A
lot
teacher.
of college co-ed hookers did.
If
Or
it doesn't,
normal.
if it doesn't fit my ass crack, you must have quit.
OJ Clam Simpson.
OJ Clan. Oh, any other Olympic stuff you want to touch on?
So far, my most entertaining one is that what is it? The Turkish freaking shooter.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. Everybody else has got like RoboCop freaking gear on their heads.
Well, and,
this guy comes
and there's
out,
another
doo-doo-doo-doo.
there's another story that people are making a big deal out of the fact that they didn't picture his fucking teammate. Oh well, it's not always about you.
But they didn't
Right?
what?
He was part of a team shooting
Right.
competition. It's a mixed.
Okay.
It's a mixed team. There's a male and female on the team. It's sexist because they didn't include her in the photos of him.
Jesus Christ.
Who fucking
Bitch and a
cares?
bitch.
It's
Fuck
his
off. She should
story.
have shot
They're
better.
telling.
Well, it wasn't her it wasn't the team that they focused on. It was his particular fucked up style.
His story.
His
And his
extremely
story.
unique style.
Very unique.
No shooting gear. Doesn't have the eye blocker. Doesn't have
No,
the tinted
both
glasses.
eyes open.
No hearing protection. No goggles or hat. He's just a dude with a gun that goes bang, 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 bang with his hand in his pocket. That's
He's going
very
full.
unique for-
He's going full Compton at the Olympics.
God bless him.
And he's doing very well.
Fuck yeah.
So what? He was on a team. So fucking what? Only because it was a woman that you're going to make a big fucking deal out of it.
Exactly. Can anybody
Go-
name any of Simone
go find
Biles'
a-
teammates?
Suni Lee.
Lee,
Okay.
Suni Lee.
I'm asking
I
the
see the
broad.
point
I'm
he's
painting
making.
with the broad brush.
Yeah.
Last
Everybody
name Childs.
focuses on Simone. You know, you have Suni Lee. Yes, I couldn't name one other person, but the general public knows Simone
Wasn't
Biles.
she married to Woody Allen?
No, that was Soon Yi Previn,
Previn.
and she's still married to Woody Allen.
They're still
Well,
together?
You want to
Yeah.
talk about you want to talk about daddy issues? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
And then some.
She's still married to the walking corpse that used to be Woody Allen.
right, the shell. I'm going right
Dude,
now. He's
looking
88.
rough. He's looking rough.
Haywood Allen.
to blow me.
Did you blow me? Yeah. Hey, would you blow me?
Oh, she probably did. Yeah, they are still married. 1997, they got married. Well, oh, that's almost 30 years. Jesus Christ.
So
Yeah.
she's aged a little since then.
She has
She's
currently
about 30
sitting
now.
at she's 53.
Oh,
Your age.
Yeah, it's only a 35-year age difference. So what? What up, Ryan Springer in the comment section? How you doing tonight?
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh.
Over there in the comment section. Yeah, so the Olympics haven't been all that great. I mean,
well, except for Snoop.
except for
Snoop.
Snoop. Snoop has been very entertaining. Michael Phelps can go suck a bag of dicks.
And Snoop
every
made
time
badminton exciting.
every time Michael Phelps is on screen, I just want to change the channel or punch him in the face. I just
What do you
can't
do to
stand
you?
it. I just don't like him.
You lost
Okay.
money on that.
No, fuck that. Fuck that.
Fucking DraftKings.
Some sports that I have
Bitch.
learned to appreciate. Some sports I've learned to appreciate more are handball
Mhm.
and 3-on-3 basketball.
That's been fun.
Yo,
3-on-3
fuck
basketball.
3-on-3 basketball.
Yo, fuck you.
Fuck 3-on-3. Fucking made
Why?
up sports.
Just bringing Gorilla Ball.
They're all made up sports.
Somebody had to make them
think
up at
about
some
it.
point.
Somebody had to make them up at some point.
Jen wants
wait,
to know
wait.
who bets on swimming. I bet it's
Yo,
Lynch.
I'm not. I
Lynch.
gotta be,
Hey, Jenny Edwards.
I mean, I don't know if anybody here has, and I was joking about Lynch, but this is America. They'll bet on legless midget boxers.
No
I
shit.
mean, and
No
I got
word of a
20
lie.
I got 20 on little Jimmy. Okay,
No
That's
word
all
of a lie. At the end of, I think it was Michael Knowles' show last week, they have BetUS.com as a title sponsor.
Yo,
you
you
can
can bet anything there.
Anything.
You can bet on the presidential election,
redheads.
sports.
Redheads with one leg that
Yeah.
Stop. I looked it up. I went to BetUS. I wanted to check it out because I like DraftKings. $5 once every couple months, and what do I lose? $5.
way
You
better.
can bet on BetUS.com whether Hunter Biden is going to do jail time.
Yes.
You can bet on if Trump is going to do jail time.
Yes.
Well, they bet
You
on
can
whether or
bet
not
if
it's gonna
Herm-
snow
you can
on
bet
Christmas
if-
Day.
Right? You can bet if Herm is going to roll the ball in the air and at 2:00 in the morning.
If there's a bet that somebody can come up with, it's there. It's literally there.
BetUS.com has it.
Like one-eyed midget wrestlers with a limp again.
In a list.
What's like a year ago? A year ago, we were sitting on this very show. I don't know if Marsh was with us then.
No.
When DraftKings, no word of a lie, we talked about it here on the show. DraftKings started taking bets on pro wrestling pay-per-view matches. So if you've got in this corner Roman Reigns and in this corner Brock Lesnar, you can bet on who wins, and there's little stipulations in there. You can
Like
bet on
betting
side
a
bets.
It's like betting on a Rocky movie. It's
Well,
scripted.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You're betting on staged events. I mean,
Right. that was my whole argument. It's like I watched SummerSlam 2 days late because I was hanging out with Emma. I
That's
watched
the
it.
thing. The people that don't know Buddy inside and don't talk to the people that we know that you talk to and shit like that,
Yeah.
and other sources that are actually deeper into the sport and to the whole entertainment thing, no shit that, and depending on how we knew 2 weeks before Razor Ramon took the title, that Razor Ramon took the title because we were there at the
We were in the
TV
crowd.
taping that a week and a half later was the debut to the world.
Yep.
So, but people in the middle of nowhere, podunk somewhere, are betting whether Ric Flair is going to beat the hell out of Dusty Rhodes is basically what. And
Right.
know,
And like I was saying, I was
I'm going to take
Bean-
a fool's money.
Beans in the
You put up-
comment section. Is it a Chinese
put
midget
this
named
comment?
Irene? That's good. Put it up on the screen. Let Beans have a moment in the sun. God knows he needs it. Is it a Chinese midget named Irene? I watched the SummerSlam the other night, broken into 2 different nights. It was on Saturday. Couldn't watch it then, and didn't care. I never thought, in my wildest dreams, this match between my 2 ex-wives, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, maybe I should put some money on this. Hell no. I want to watch 2 hot chicks roll around, beat the shit out of each other,
Fuck
shit
yeah.
out of each other.
Fuck
And
yeah.
the stories are fun.
Yeah, but nobody wants to leave the wrestling fans out, so they can bet on whatever they want. Dumbasses.
Look, that was it still amazes me that they're betting on wrestling. And
Is it
it's nuts.
breakdancing this weekend? Isn't breakdancing this weekend?
I
Herb?
hope so.
It's the 9th.
Yeah.
That's
So
2
I want to
days.
watch the breakdancing.
I have my DVR set up to record all of it: women's and men's qualifiers and women's and men's finals.
I'm gonna watch the whole damn thing because that is
Wow.
awesome. Yeah, it's
Good to see you
Tim,
too,
out there in the
Beans.
comment
Good to
section.
see you too. Before we move on to another subject, because I don't know enough about it, maybe you
I
guys
was
do.
on the breakdancing team at Ledger.
I bet
Center
you
School
were.
in 6th grade. That's all I'm saying.
If you ever get a chance to
Herb
go
was
to
before.
YouTube and watch Bobby Heenan's Hall of Fame acceptance speech, Pete Rose is there.
Yeah.
And he says, you'll have to excuse me. I'm in a little trouble. I bet on wrestling. And Pete Rose is laughing. He goes, no, Pete, you don't understand. I bet from the ring. And Pete's just pissing himself laughing.
No, you don't
That's Bobby
understand. I
Heenan.
bet from the ring.
I
That was
bet
I was
from the
in
ring.
I was in the ring when I bet.
Yeah, bet I'm gonna get my ass kicked. So we have a new vice presidential hopeful. News broke today. Governor Tim Walz from Minnesota. I don't know a lot about him.
I don't
I
either.
wanna-
I have to do. I got to do a deep dive. I did a very shallow dive today, and I'm not saying
How'd it go?
I'm not. I didn't. You will not hear me say I did the research, other than to say that I didn't do the research.
I read the
because
book.
I don't
But I read
feel
the
I've-
book.
I don't feel I've done the research yet.
Right.
I'll give you the
Dale
Reader's
Richmond,
Digest version.
Okay.
He is he's a high school teacher. He's a straightforward. He's a teacher. He's I believe he's a football coach. He did 24
Former
years.
military.
He did 24 years in the National Guard. On the surface, I haven't gotten deep into the politics yet. He's from Minnesota, and they have a tendency to be kind of down the middle, depending on where you go. He's from Nebraska, which is about as purple as you can get.
Yeah.
White bread.
So, well, no, like evenly balanced red and blue.
Right. But I mean, he's just white bread
He's a
corn poke.
Yeah,
flyover
he's
Nebraska
there. He's
character.
there. White
Yeah,
bread is
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't seem. I can't seem to have found any real scandal with him. His voters like him. They will tell you that he gets the shit that they want done. So he seems to be a candidate that his constituents will back up that he gets shit done
Mhm.
as Democrats. So
I called
right now he
I-
looks pretty good.
I called
It's
Marks
like-
I called Marks last week, and the more I thought about it, I don't think he was ready for it. The guy from Arizona. I would have liked to see him there.
I had a different
don't-
pick.
I don't dislike this guy. Only 2 things that I've read about him thus far, like you said, I'm a shallow diver right now until I get deep into it. He's made some pro-Palestine comments and sentiments that kind of rub me the wrong way. I have to look a little bit deeper, look beyond the surface. And he has a very, 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 very strong tie to China. That can be a very positive thing or a very negative thing.
I don't honestly have a problem with that.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Depending on what the connection is.
He was an English teacher in China for.
Oh yeah, well that I know. He taught in China for a number of years, but
so I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying it's something I'd like to investigate more. What did he do? It could be a positive thing for the U.S. to rebuild a relationship with China, because our relationship with China is strictly financial.
China.
We let them fuck us every 4 years, and they give us lots of money.
We're gonna bring back the jobs from China.
I
had a different choice, and
what he needs to bring back is everything he said in that interview that he did with the black organization. Did.
Black journalists, yeah.
Yeah, well, is that what
when they come across the border and they're taking the black jobs? Did he just say what I think he said?
Yeah, well, then she asked him a question, and he's like, you're being very mean to me. Like, what the fuck?
It was rude, not mean.
Like,
first,
you didn't introduce yourself. You didn't say how you doing.
The party that made the entire election about the stumblings of an old man is just
he stumbles.
looking now is facing a much younger candidate and the stumblings and ramblings of an old man.
Yep.
Yeah, he's becoming what he was preaching against.
He looked great.
Not only did
he looked great next to Joe.
Dude, I have a chair that's broken that would look great next to Joe.
I could put him up next to Walter and he'd be fucked.
The yucca plant. I had a different choice, and I thought to myself, if I'm Kamala Harris and I truly want to grab one of the biggest swing states you can, I thought she would have chose Governor Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania.
That was another one on my list too, because that's a very important state in the electoral.
I knew better to think that she would pick Mayor Pete, or I'm sorry, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Well, Pete didn't want the job. He's already said that he didn't want.
He flat out said it. Yeah,
a lot of people say they don't want the job until they have the job.
Dude, I'm still saying, God damn it, Michelle.
Wouldn't be a bad choice. Would not be a bad choice.
Now, Tim Walz doesn't seem to be a bad choice. Just what I see, what I've read. He's not ugly. He's a decent-looking, silver-haired gentleman. He's not old, though, by 60, any stretch of the words. When compared to, you're looking at basically a younger set of constituents than or candidates than the other team has. Kamala and JD are about the same, but Tim Walz definitely beats Trump on the age ticket.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think that's an issue.
Tim Walz can conduct a decent conversation and answer a question. I don't know. They might have a good fucking run.
They have a good chance because depending on her pick for VP. I was hoping it was one of the talked about 4, which is the 4 we just discussed here. If it was anything outside of that, my confidence would have sunk even lower. But her team, can't give her all the credit because she's got an excellent team working with her. Her team decided that was the best fit. And I do think that the point about the age gap, they are closer in age to each other than Trump and his new candidate. So
he's much younger than Trump.
You have 2 generations of people between JD Vance and Donald Trump in that age range. You have 2 generations of people with,
and those Kamala. Those are Kamala, and those are Gen X Tim Walz.
And they have that generation, and that generation is the one to be afraid of in this election because they're fucking tired of the same old bullshit.
Yeah, so
they
tie up the Gen
guys
X
our age.
They tie up the Gen X millennial age group vote.
I got some tail of the tape on Tim Walz. This is just a brief little overview. He's been the governor since 2019. Before that, he was a ranking member of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Okay, like that. Member of the U.S. House of Representatives from 2007 to 2019. He's 60 years old, obviously a Democrat. He was educated at Chadron State College and Minnesota State University. Branch of service, United States Army with the Nebraska National Guard, and then upon moving to Minnesota, joined the Minnesota National Guard. 24 years in service, very nice. Won the Army Commendation Medal and the Army Achievement Medal. Look, let's be clear, anybody can win those.
Those are gimmies.
Yeah, those are basically those are the participation trophies of the Army.
Basic.
Yeah, but they're important. They get listed.
But it looks good on a resume.
It looks good on the
absolutely
resume.
fucking does.
That's how that works.
A teaching
That's
degree,
literally
like we'd already
they'll tell you that in the Army. They'll tell you that. Look, this is just for a buff on a resume.
Yep.
Bro.
I know.
As mentioned before, he was a teacher for many years, elected governor, defeating the Republican nominee, Jeff Johnson. The name was it Jeff Johnson in the movie? Vote Jeff Johnson, the name you know. The Eddie Murphy shitbag.
Yeah.
Walz has passed legislation for state infrastructure and environmental issues, as well as implemented multiple progressive policies, including tax modification, free school meals, gun background checks for all, and free college tuition for low-income families under, and it doesn't say the amount, it was redacted.
I have no problem with any of that.
No, and look, that's the Democratic. That's a Democratic Party I was a part of.
As a gun-toting motherfucker, I have no problem with any of that.
He is pro-gun. He is pro-gun, but he is also pro. He's also pro-background. He wants to get everybody gets checked and make it a little bit more of a deep dive than what we're currently doing. And I agree with that kind of philosophy.
Not everybody, not like Connecticut has it, where you got to get fucking certified and take the class. You should just be able to go get it and carry it.
Last two things on this
field, that's how you get the class.
Last two things on this, where you could get some of these swing voters on this one last point, and then I'm going to bring up the only black mark I found on him. Walz is a member of the Evangelical Lutheran Church of America, has been for 35 years. Okay, so you can get the religious to come in.
Yeah, and Democrats don't usually push that. They don't use that usually as part of their platform to base with when they
that would be their lifeline. That would be their ring. Somebody's drowning. I'm going to use this as my ring. Maybe we can get some of these swing voters. This was 30 years ago, and I don't see why it should ever be. I like the last sentence though, and Lynch will like it too. In 1995, he was arrested on a DUI charge. He was going 99 and a 55. He pled guilty to a reduced charge of reckless driving. His license was suspended for 90 days, and the day after his court appearance, he's been a teetotaler ever since.
He did his crime. He did his time. He did what they were supposed to do. He admitted he fucked up. What do you want?
And he made a positive life choice.
He stood in front of the man and took his lump, and then went on about his life. There you go.
Yes.
So,
no. And if that's the only black mark,
he didn't kill anybody. He didn't.
If that's the only black mark, dude, that's a drop in the bucket compared to some of these politicians.
Now let's set this guy up for the next election. If he can put, like Herm said, if he can formulate a pretty decent sentence and sound fairly intelligent and articulate,
there's a baton to pass, nice and easy.
He's
only 64 when he's technically I haven't even reached retirement age.
Exactly. So, and that's a very important thing to think about. Guys our age and a little bit behind us, there's no more retiring at 66. I don't know about any one of you three.
Yeah, he's 60. To clarify that,
I just want to let me finish my point.
Yeah,
the three of us are around the same age. None of us could afford to retire completely and not work at 66.
I don't believe that.
I'm doing it at 60. What are you fucking talking about?
If you start early and say, I absolutely
plan for this. I'm retiring at 60. Walking the fuck out.
Are you going to retire with time, Matt, or do you want to retire at retirement age?
What do you mean, as far as with time?
No, I can start. I can pull my money out.
No, I don't get
my money out of
I don't get a pension.
I can pull money out of 401k at 55.
You
Yeah.
can. The rule of 55, which I wish more people knew about.
Yeah, but right,
Yeah.
right. It's the rule of 55. But if I wait and bang it till 60, I'm good, bro.
Well, you
Yeah,
are.
I mean-
The only thing, I mean, going along with Lynch's point, the key hiccup and all that, unless you have some kind of state benefits, like a retirement from a state job or military, which give you medical benefits, the hang up a lot of people have is they may have the money to go early, but what are they going to do between then and when Medicare kicks in?
Exactly, because that's the big thing is our work life expectancies of guys in our generation is well past 66. It's
Mhm.
closer to 75
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
we're healthy. We're healthier than we've ever
Right.
been. Generationally, that carries over. We've been getting healthier since the 50s. And we're at a point now where the average life expectancy is much, much higher than it was in 1950, 1960. Mortality rate is low right now with guys our age. The number one killer of a white male ever is a heart attack. That's the number one killer of any white male on the
I
planet.
understand what the numbers say, but I'm
But-
telling you, I ain't living that long.
That's fine.
Yeah,
No,
but
Not
no,
that we
no,
want you to die.
you're-
Not that we
you
want
have
you
an
to die, but
like I'm
You
not.
have
I'm
a
not going to
plan.
make it that long.
You have a plan. And that's
Yeah.
admirable to have a plan and to know.
I'm
got-
getting
I
the fuck
think-
out early and making sure I can enjoy a bunch of it mobile and healthy.
yeah,
Right.
that's. I think that's. And I don't want to speak for you, Herm, but I think that your point is, it might be genetics. I don't know what the life expectancy in your family really is. If you're saying I want to get out at 60 and enjoy my life while I can still have a life, I'm not going to live that long. There might be something genetic, and if I'm speaking out of school, please tell me. Get out while you
that's
can.
like kind of that's well, I watched my parents. My mom did pretty
There's
good.
variables.
There's variables, and I've worked in an industry where I do nothing but inhale chemicals all the time. If you guys knew how much oven cleaner I've inhaled, which is fucking
I'm sure.
extremely caustic and cancerous.
You should have heard him talking about the tumor on his ass pre-show.
Everything is to play it. Everything
I'm glad I
every
missed it.
chemical we use is some sort of toxic to inhale or with hot and fucked up. So yeah, and it's tough, inhaling heat, inhaling soot.
Yeah, it's
I'm
bad.
good now, but this shit's going to compound itself at some point,
Yeah,
and it's going to hit hard. So I
Well,
want to enjoy it before it hits hard, and I can't.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, there's still no guarantees. I mean, you definitely have, contributing. The odds are stacked that way for you, but at the same time, I mean, you can have somebody that works with asbestos for years and never comes down with asbestosis, or you can have somebody that gets lung cancer.
Right.
A
Now,
lot of it depends on.
Now, I've also planned that if I go longer, that's all affordable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've hedged your bets.
There's contingencies, but money is ready to go at like 60 to start
Yeah.
getting spent.
I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, my whole point of that little preamble there is that a guy his age is more relatable to us, this group of
Yeah,
guys.
like he can,
Yeah,
because they're
talk
close
about-
to,
he can talk about Social Security because he's about to be fucking on it.
and it's something that's coming up in our lives that's impactful to us. It's all about relatability. And to me, if I can relate to a guy who's closer to my age, who has almost the same life experience time, different experiences, that is kind of something I think about.
We all drank the same fucking hose water, bro.
I know when we're still here.
That's it.
We-
That's
still
that
here.
for him. I'm telling you right now, that's his hook. Guys, we all drank the same hose water. And the millennials will still get that shit too.
Yeah, and
The older
and you know
one.
what?
Guys, we all drank the
It's
same hose water.
He's the perfect age. He seems very likable. I just need to hear him talk.
That was
Really
going to be a
well
question I
Okay.
had for all of you.
That's solid.
Is at some point they're going to debate Vance versus Walz, and I am very curious. I've heard Vance speak. I've never
I'm
heard
actually
Tim
gonna
Walz
watch it.
speak.
I'm actually going to watch a vice presidential debate. I usually never watch them. Oh, and another fun fact: this is
Well-
the first president or vice president candidate that has military background since the first G.W. Bush.
No shit.
No. Oh, Democrat, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we
No.
talked about JD Vance
No.
2 weeks ago.
nobody else
No.
has had military experiences.
Pence
Period.
was, didn't he?
George W.
I thought Pence
George
had
W. Bush?
military.
No.
No, wait, not Pence. Come on, I'll go look. Let me look that
No.
up. I don't want to.
No,
I don't
Pence
think
had
he
nothing.
did.
Pence had nothing.
Mike Pence. Give me a second.
He's very pro VA. So that's a huge
Mike
vote too. Is
Pence.
the vets vote. He's very proactive in
Yes.
Veterans Affairs.
For Walls,
That I did read. Yeah,
for
that
Walls,
I did read.
yes.
So to
No
me,
military background for Mike Pence.
Okay. All right. I click us.
No
it
worries.
dawned on me. It dawned on me at lunch today. I'm like, he's got military. What's the last one? I'm going through everybody over the president elects and vice president elects. I'm like, no, yeah, he's the first one since old man Bush.
Yep. No, young Bush was in the Air Force.
Young Bush was in the National Guard.
Yeah.
Was he career though?
Now,
No.
I think it was a reservist.
He did his
No.
did his five and dime and get out.
Doesn't
No.
matter. Once you put on the uniform, that's it.
Yeah.
We talked about JD Vance a couple weeks ago, and we talked about the youth factor, where you have, as Herm eloquently put it, and rightfully so, Trump is starting to become the bumbling old man. Now you have JD Vance, fresh, young, can form a sentence, can make you believe in what he's saying. And now you have Tim Walz, who, again, we've all admitted, none of us have heard. I've never in my life watched a vice presidential debate. I will now. I want to see these two just talk. I don't want to see them do the Harris Trump routine where they're just going to be
No.
shooting barbs at each other and trying to show whose dick is bigger.
Yeah.
I want to see these two guys come out and talk about the issues. Because this, I think, with the selection of Tim Walz, this might be what swings the election one way or the other. You have two off-the-wall picks that nobody saw coming.
I have to
Now we've
wholeheartedly agree with you.
now we've got ourselves something to deal with. This is going to be good.
I agree 100%. I think this was good for this election because I was getting scared. The whole part of the you can't convince me otherwise that this has all been some sort of big grand opera with Biden's health and mental acuity, blah, 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 blah. I'm just pissed that it didn't go to how it should have been and have an actual
Through the DNC?
An actual let's get some motherfuckers in here and have some debates and see who I want to vote for. I get it, bad timing, not enough time, and just hand the keys to Kamala. I mean,
I think no matter what,
besides Biden wanting to start World War III by sending American troops to Israel, what the fuck? What's the last time before that you've heard anything out of Biden's mouth or Biden's camp? President Biden. It's all been about Kamala, keeping her in front of the camera. Push that narrative, push this candidate.
What bothers me worse, and again, it's another thing with the current, modern day Democratic Party. They wanted you to believe, and they got on screen, and all the same people who were, oh, well, he has to go. The Pelosi's, I'm trying to remember his name now. Fuck, I can't remember. Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
And others. Biden's as sharp as he's ever been. Biden is just as sharp as a tack. He could recite Plato on a moment's notice. They lied, and they lied through their teeth. And part of me understands that and says, okay, we're trying to preserve, the image of our president. We don't want to look weak on the world stage. Then the debate happens. You showed your ass, and now you have to deal with it.
It's like, you remember, Chris, you've been a supervisor. You got to say this new policy that you don't believe in with a smile and get buy-in. It's just like that. It's just like that. What the words coming out of my mouth are absolutely not my view, but you got to do this and you have to love this process. Yeah, that's just the same fucking thing. And I get it. I understand.
No, I'm with you. And it's not like it's the first time we've ever been lied to by politicians. It's just for the person that is looked at as the leader of the free world. there could have been some honesty there. There could have been, this nice transfer of power. Hey, Kamala Harris could have been the president already if she or someone high-ranking decided to evoke the 25th Amendment. I'm glad they didn't, because I actually want the democratic process to work in some strange way, shape, or form.
That would have been a huge hit to the Democrats.
And it would, no offense to, it would have been a huge hit to Kamala, because you don't want to. It's the Gerald Ford thing. Gerald Ford can forever say he was the president of the United States.
By default.
He was handed the job by default through Nixon's resignation, and he lost the re-elect campaign. Would that have happened to Kamala Harris? Don't know.
Other than being one of the
life, fuck it.
What's that?
Other than
Secret Service for life, fuck it.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than being ranked as one of the worst, if not the worst, president of our modern society, that's all Gerald Ford's really known for. That and being a klutz. And his wife was a drunk who started a drunk tank in rehabs and shit, which I appreciate.
You and I, Lynch, had a conversation right around the time of the Biden election. And I told you, I remember watching the congressional hearings on steroids in baseball, the House Oversight Committee.
Yep.
Joe Biden gave the best, most impassioned speech, hit every nail on the head. Was amazing. Now you fast forward 25 years, and the Joe Biden we get now is the guy who screams at you to get off the lawn and tells you the same story every time you go see him for dinner.
I will say this, and I'll say, and it's not something to be not proud of or proud of. Joe Biden in his prime was very, very eloquent and very well spoken.
Without question.
He was a very, very sharp dude. I've watched the videos of him from the 70s and 80s. Motherfucker was very persuasive.
Mm-hmm. If you can find it on YouTube, go find those baseball congressional hearings. The one where Rafael Palmeiro lied through his teeth because he got popped for steroids 2 days later.
So the thing that hurts me the most is that there's a guy
that was Sammy.
Whether I agreed with his politics or not, I always listened to Joe Biden when he talked, because he was a good orator. To see that decline from the year 2019 to today, the decline was rapid.
I can do you one better. If you watched him
5 years, it's from 2019 to now. It's been
watch him during the Obama administration, where he was the vice president for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
He could still draw you in with his words. He wasn't quite the orator that Obama was, but he was coherent. He was intelligent. And you didn't think poorly of him. Yeah. Now,
he was a good counterpart.
Obama leaves, Trump comes in. There's that 4-year run. By the time Biden comes back into the public spotlight, that 4 years was a terrible decline. Now talking about 4 more years, up to and including today, it's a completely different human being that sat than the one that sat in the White House with President Obama.
Well, and that in my heart of hearts, if I was somebody in politics that like he inspired me to watch that happen real time in front of me, how could I not have confidence? I wouldn't have confidence in him, because I know the man that it was 25 years ago. What I see in front of me ain't the same person. So I can understand having zero confidence in him as a president in the Senate or the House.
If I were
for them not to speak up, I think would be irresponsible.
If I were still a card-carrying Democrat and I watched that debate, and the question on illegal immigration ended with the words that Herm and I love to jack on about, at the end of his sentence when he's trailing off, he says, "We beat Medicare." I'd have been done. I'd have torn the card in half. And as Herm said, "Sir, when were we fighting Medicare? You're on Medicare.
You're on Medicare. We're not fighting that shit."
Was it a long war? I mean, were there casualties?
The numbers aren't out yet.
Joe considered that the big theater.
Right? Yeah. You'll have to talk to Tony Blinken from Homeland Security on that one.
Right. Oh, Jesus Christ.
How many casualties in the war against Medicare?
Yeah.
And look, we can sit and wax.
Who was it? Tony and Louis.
Yeah. Joey Numbers at the Port Authority. He gave me some good information and a couple really nice lobsters. We can fucking Marsh.
Shoreman guy I know. Yeah, he gets me lobsters
What
on
color
the
is
fly.
lobster? Is lobster,
Lobster.
is lobster a yellow food?
Uh-oh.
It could be.
It might be. I don't think it's a green. It could be. Shrimp's a green, so maybe lobster is too.
I know.
Ooh. Herm's
I-
looking it up.
Now I
Listen,
gotta-
we can wax philosophically all day
Well,
long.
Chris and I have another
Spam
conversation.
is a red food, just so we're clear.
We're going to go
What?
around the horn. Shut the fuck up.
What's a red food?
Spam.
Penis.
It's red.
Which is funny because corned beef hash is a yellow food.
Oh, my God. We'll do an entire weight loss episode for you guys. Lynch and I will just sit back, drink Mountain Dew, and have a good time.
Here's my segment. I quit
Lobster's
drinking.
yellow.
The end.
Yeah, lobster's a yellow.
Lobster's yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
Lynch,
Yes.
Shrimp
if
is
there's
green.
one issue that you think either campaign should focus on as a strength, what would it be? And pick one for the Republican side and pick one for the Democrat side.
Republicans are gonna. I'm just gonna go with what I see. They're going to make guns an issue and more restrictions and bans.
The Republicans.
Yeah.
The Republicans?
After what just
No,
happened?
no,
after
Democrats.
what-
Democrats. Sorry, Democrats. Republicans. Ooh, that's a tough one because what do they have to hang their hat on right now? What have they been?
It doesn't
good
even
at
need
for
to
the
be
last-
hang your hat on. What do you want to? It's all about promises. And 90% of them are not going to be kept anyway.
I really, Chris, I honestly can't answer that right now because I don't
Okay.
know.
I'll
don't know
take
what-
it, and then we'll.
Yeah, go ahead and say yours. I may agree or disagree.
For the Democrats, their strong suit right now has to be women's rights.
Oh, reproductive rights. too.
The overturning of Roe v. Wade, which should have sent those issues back to the states and to be voted on and not to be grandfathered in like certain states, and we talked about that before. It should go to the people. That's
The
where
people.
it begins and ends. And the fact that certain states didn't do that, are you listening, Texas and Mississippi? You
Yeah.
heathen motherfuckers. I am pro-choice to an extent. I don't think if you go out and bang the captain of the football team and you rode bareback that it should be a get-out-of-jail-free card. I do, however, think that in the right situations, it's the right situations. Do it. I've been clear on this for a long damn time. But to get those people to believe in you, we are gonna we've put this, it's already been put back in the state's hands. Now we're going to try to do our best to make sure they allow you, the people, to cast your vote.
Well,
That's
and something
a big one for them.
something they could also play on is the gender politics as well.
To an
mean,
extent.
That's
Well,
to
you
a very
have
large,
running
to a very
you have
large large extent because just remember you got states like California where that you can't mention that T word and not be strung up a fucking tree.
What's the T
You know what I'm
word?
saying?
Yeah, what's the T word?
Transsexual.
You can't
You
say
can't
that.
word. No, because you bring it up, you're going to get 90 million fucking opinions
I
thrown
don't
at
care
you
about
all one
nobody's
time.
opinion. I only care what I think.
Shit happens.
Right. But they're very passionate about it.
I don't give
Okay.
a fuck.
Very passionate.
I'm passionate about duck
They're-
fat.
Are we talking
You
about
get some
California?
That's about that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're passionate about letting their homeless people shit in the street. I mean,
Yeah.
Because that's okay because it's they want a nice socialist Zen society. Look
Good,
what
fuck
that's
'em.
gotten you.
I'm passionate
that's
about
gotten
trying to find a 60 millimeter twin barrel fucking belt fed machine gun for the roof.
There you
But
go.
You know,
you
there
haven't
go.
looked.
The Republicans on their ticket, I really do believe immigration should be pretty close. Illegal immigration, not the folks that you see. Like my friend's wife is not from this country. They've been married 25 years. They have 2 beautiful children. She's one of the most wonderful human beings I know, naturalized citizen. But that's one way to do it. I'm sure we all had grandparents came over on some sort of boat, except for Herm, who was mostly Native American and Mexican, so there was no boat involved.
Oh, they were
Hear me
enslaved by
out.
the people that came over on the
Hear me
boat.
out. Hear me out. But the European white folk that come over on a boat and they went through Ellis Island, hell, even the Godfather went through the
Colonizer.
process.
Ugh.
Don't get me started. Every fucking nation on this earth was colonized at one point or another. Knock that liberal shit off. I'll reach through this phone and never mind. Wait, you're closer.
Yeah.
Smack yourself. Yeah, the illegal immigration, the border crisis. And it's funny that we only talk about it on the southern border. It's not even the Mexicans that are pouring into this country by the millions. Other countries are sending their people to the southern border because it's the most porous.
Mhm.
I'm going to
Right.
Canada in a few weeks for a wedding. You ever been to the Canadian border? You can't just
I
drive
haven't.
over. You can't just drive over like
It's
you go to
vast.
Lisbon.
No, you just
Yeah.
you gotta stop. Say hello.
Show them your passport. Now you got to show them your passport.
You
I
do
believe.
now. Last
Yeah,
yeah.
Anything to,
the
anything
first
to
few times I
declare?
did it, you just needed a fucking driver's license.
yeah, that's it.
Anything to declare? I have the hugest cock on the planet.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
right?
saying.
I had some good pussy yesterday. Yeah, you can go right through.
Other than the liquor and the fireworks in the trunk, there ain't nothing going on here,
Right.
officer.
I got firewood from another state. You know,
I got maple syrup.
Let me smell your fingers.
right? Immigration should be one. I also think for the Republicans, we're watching in the last couple of weeks a really crazy stock market up and down, up and down, up and down. You have people, and this was reported by the Wall Street Journal just yesterday, that they have people that are afraid that this upcoming election is going to be so crazy that they're selling off and liquidating to have cash in hand
I
to
love
move
when
forward.
It's in the fucking red. I love it. When I wake up in the markets in the fucking
Exactly.
red, I love it.
It's a
Love
buyer's
it.
market.
Buy
It's a
more.
buyer's
start
market.
buying- I just start
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep on buying.
shit.
And dude, I'm with you. But if you're Jimmy, you know,
Yeah, Jimmy
Jimmy-
Prepper.
yeah, with the cool hair, and he lives for this Wall Street shit, and he's gonna watch his assets go from 30 million to $28.
Bro,
He's
in
not
3
happy.
weeks when this shit rebounds, I'm gonna be fucking rich.
Exactly. It's a buyer's market now.
The long
But-
game, baby.
Yeah, but they again, you tell a broker to play the long game, they're gonna laugh at you.
Well,
Oh well,
that's why I
you know
love
what,
bro.
you know, guys. I know everybody fucking hates him, but you really want some fucking market strategy. I watched Dave Portnoy
Mhm.
for his fucking market strategy. He's the
I like him.
reason. He's the reason I made all that fucking money on AMC. He told us about that shit 4 or 5 days. He goes, "I'm telling you, start buying that shit. Trust me."
Yep.
And Lynch, I told you the fucking story on how that
Mhm.
happened.
Mhm.
I emptied every fucking account we had.
Your wife was horrified.
She was.
Yeah.
I emptied
Um,
every account we had. and bought
Herm,
AMC stock.
you're always of two minds of everything, like Harvey Dent after the acid attack. What's the number one Democratic ticket issue that they should run on, and what is the
Reproductive rights?
and what about the Republicans? You want to win. This is your platform. And I know you're left leaning. I'm not asking you to go. I'm not
No,
asking you to.
really. For them, really, just keep doing what you're doing. Be mad at the migrant crime that doesn't exist. Worry
That's not
about
true.
where I'm just. Oh, it's actually true. Check the numbers.
I
The
have.
migrant crime is actually.
It's
check
not
the
as big as they make it out to
numbers
be.
aren't actually
but
the
they
numbers aren't
exist.
trackable. There's one state in the entire United States that actually tracks along with crime that happens, whether you're a legalized citizen or not. None of the other states do. None of
Which
them.
state is that?
Texas. That's it.
Oh, I was going to say Arizona.
Texas.
I was thinking
that's it.
Arizona myself.
The only state that does it, and every other state. They want to tell you about the fentanyl crisis, but here's the thing. The thing with the fentanyl crisis coming across the border is, yes, it is a fentanyl problem, but it's not Mexicans. When you're trying
No.
to send a shitload
I just
of
said that.
the pills, when you're trying to send pills across the border, you send them home with white people that went down and are bringing the shit back.
Yep.
Because white people are a lot easier. The
Or-
migrant, it's not migrant
And they're
crime.
cheap.
It's there's no way to track it. It's
You know what
literally
the others that'll come in that nobody blinks an eye at because for whatever reason everybody. I'm not saying anything bad about these folks. Asians.
Well, I can understand why that people from either they're coming from China or any other.
Usually
part
they're
of the
coming
Asian
from China.
country.
China.
But I can't blame them for leaving.
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
Or Taiwan. Taiwan.
Yeah.
is a lot of
They're
that.
so embattled right now between each other that I'd want to leave too.
If they can get out of North Korea, they get out of North Korea.
And how are you gonna make yourself some money? I'm gonna be a mule. Why not?
That or like I learned a lot from talking to people at Mohegan Sun who worked there who were Asian. I always asked them, how did you get here? And one story was the guy spoke pretty decent English. He told me that, well, in China, I was a doctor, like the GP. I left China because I feared for my life. Because people in his family were connected to the mafia and gambling, blah, blah, blah. He said, I came here for a fresh start. I said, you were a doctor in your own country. I said, do you ever want to go back to school? He goes, I'm happy doing what I'm doing now because I work hard and they pay me a fair wage. And I'm like, whoa, what?
And he lives a free life.
Yeah.
Whoa, he's here. And that hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. That's those stories I love to hear about people who
Of course.
came here the right way. I'll take every Chinese person that wants to turn their life around and do things the right way. I'll take them here because in talking to other people, just that in the grill at lunchtime, just started a random conversation. I learned a lot about just how shitty it is to live in China and try to actually be a productive member of society and not coerced or threatened into doing something illegal, because that's what a lot of the stories are. You'll be like brought into this back room somewhere and they will say, you will take this here and do this with this money.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Exactly. And that's the crime I was talking about. Not so, and I understand where Herm was going, but when you have, say, a Colombian cartel or a Venezuelan cartel and they catch you at the border 300 strong humping your dope, it's kind of hard to ignore.
Well, and it kind of the problem takes care of itself at that point.
Right.
It's not a problem anymore.
But that's when or if you get caught.
Well, fentanyl isn't only coming from the south. It's coming in through the north border as well.
Oh no,
Yep,
it's fucking blowing in through Canada.
Oh yeah.
And the East Coast.
Yeah.
It's our two coasts are what the main traffic for fentanyl.
You have greedy white, like Herm said, you have greedy white people. You have foreign cartels who want to put it on the streets. It's cheap and easy to make, and you can get top dollar for it. Great. It's like crack all over again. And
you know how easy it is to smuggle a bag full of either the raw ingredients or some sort of pill in a duffel bag on a cruise ship. I mean, come on, that shit's not checked that well.
No, it's not.
It's such a easy, soft target.
And especially when I'm trying to remember the name of the documentary, I will find it and I'll send it to you guys. When they show like the average rich white kid who finally gets popped for dealing drugs, and he says, "Oh, so how'd you get all these drugs?" "Oh, I would take trips. I would go to Venezuela. I would go to Chile. I would go here. I'd go there." And they wrap it in such a way that it's, I don't know if it's lead lined or what have you. So when it goes through, when it goes through an X-ray machine, all you see is like, there's a hair dryer, there's this box, there's this, and it just looks like a small box, and inside of it is tens of thousands of dollars of these pills. And he's talking about how they learned to do this. How did they learn to do it? The corrupt governments in the countries they're living in, who have the same technology to check people in, like, okay, here's how you do this. Now go do it. Kind of like you said, put them in a back room. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to do this.
Right. Well, and as far as the migrant crime thing, it happens. But like Herm said, nobody keeps track of that unless it's reported to the media or some outlet or the police department releases that information. It's not it's not public knowledge.
There's no actual data that for either way. There's one state. There's one state.
Right.
And
You
a
and you
border
have
state.
to you have to look at how small of a pool of people that is in our population. You're diluting the pool. The pool's diluted with us.
But
Us guys who are already here.
even in Texas, if you go to the numbers, because there's a John Oliver episode on it, 2 or
Mhm.
3 weeks ago, their main topic was migrant crime, and if you go, the numbers in Texas will tell you that the number of the amount of crime that committed by immigrants is like a way lower percentage, even in Texas where they're tracking it, is a way lower percentage statewide than the non-immigrant status people.
Right. And that goes back to an argument in Chicago when they were talking about, oh, there's an inordinate number of black men being sent to jail for crimes. And they said, well, we'll break it down for you. Street crime, you have mostly blacks. Murder in Chicago, this was a crazy number. There
Black
were more
on black crime.
Well, arrested and convicted more white people, and it came down to domestic violence or mental health issues. But the black on black crime accounted for about 30%. But you're right. But you can't make it a talking point if the numbers don't go in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
True.
So-
But it's still something to talk about, and people are kind of uppity about it. So
Well, what can somebody tell me what black job? I mean, like, can someone tell me what a black job is?
NBA.
I mean, because the
I
Mexicans are stealing all the jobs. Like my buddy went out.
No,
and he's
the
like, "Oh,
immigrants,
man."
not the Mexicans. The illegal
no,
immigrants. Those were his words.
That's where they're coming. You say whatever you want. The immigrants. We know it's not the Mexicans specifically, because when they get here, they're like, "Yo, I stole 3 jobs today, bro," and I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, a roofer, a farm
landscaper.
worker, and a janitor." Yo, bro, you didn't steal those jobs. They left those out for you to take.
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly.
That's,
You know what? But if they want to do that the right way and get those jobs, more power to them. It's their right to do so once they're here legally.
Yo, I think immigration should be like my motherfucking front door.
Just let me know
All
when
right.
you're here.
Look, if you show the fuck up at my house and ring the bell, I'm just gonna stare at you from the security system. Watch you walk around my front patio. You didn't call.
Right.
You should call. If you send a text and call me, I'll be like, "Oh, that's the boys. They're here."
Gonzalo, come on in.
Okay? That's how immigration should work. Like, you got to send a text, let someone know you're coming. Like, set it up. Then you can come right in. Set it
Yeah,
up.
that's why back in the day,
Have a job with a sponsor. Have a place to
Yep.
stay or housing with
Pay some
sponsor.
taxes.
Come in with
Yeah,
a,
there
come in
you
with
go.
a plan. Come in
Yep.
with a plan, and come in with a plan, and we'll assist you additionally.
let's use Italy.
I'm good for that.
Yeah,
Come in with a
let's
plan,
use
a job and a place to stay. Start there, and then we'll help you out.
let's use Italy as an example, because I'd heard these stories for years. When you got on the boat in Italy in the 1910s, 20s, and 30s, to come to America, you got your name on the list. It's a ledger list, and there were 2 lists. One went with the boat, one stayed behind. And then someone would teletype that shit because there was no fax machines in the 20s.
This
would-
is who's coming.
Yep. This is the list. This is your manifest. This is who's about to arrive. And as you get off the boat, you have your paper that they handed you. I am Vito Andolini. And this is, see, her
From
Lynch gets
Corleone.
it, right?
Corleone.
Vito Corleone from Andolini, or whatever the fuck it was. He was Andolini first. Never mind.
Andolini from Corleone.
Semantics at this point. But they could check you as you walked off of that boat onto to get vetted. They knew who you were. They knew you were coming. That, I think that goes to Herm's point. If I'm speaking out of school, let me know.
Yeah,
Just
well,
tell me you're coming.
No, like I understand you want to come in, but in the day and age, like if you're coming across the border with a phone, maybe you could, look, find a sponsor. Look, I'm all for that. I need
Call the
a job.
consulate.
I need you to secure employment somehow. I know it's difficult, but that streamlines the process. If you show up at the border and you've got a paper and you're on a list where you've submitted your shit, and because you can do all of this online, all right, for at the border, you can submit all of that paperwork, asylum, all of that through the system, all right, and you can show up with like receipt paper print, all right, but you're in the system even if not. All right, you got to show up, all right, and you got to put some effort in. Then the process streamlines. You show up and you've got a sponsor for a place to live. You've got a place to provide employment. All right. So you can contribute to society, and you're not going to be a burden as much as somebody walking in with nothing going, help me, give me everything I need to survive.
Right.
All right. So we're asking that should be streamlined. You show up with those under those conditions. There's a much easier, faster vetting process. There's a much easier help access to social programs.
Well,
If you just stroll up to the border with no papers, and no plan, and nobody saying, "Hey, we know this guy. When they come in, we're sponsoring him, and they've been checked out." Then you've got a long fucking waiting process, and you're going to stay at the border right there until we figure out who exactly you are. But if we can,
I think
call
something like
ahead,
that would be awesome. I think
That's
something
it.
like that would be awesome.
And then it's streamlined. And you know what? If you streamline and you come in that way and you're vetted through that process, we'll give you, look, I got no problem with somebody who's got a job getting as much, call it what you want, welfare type social program money to give him a better life. But show me you got some effort. And
Right.
then we'll give you some of that too.
I'm all for that because it just, like you said, it streamlines the process. It's like getting a shipment of cardboard boxes full, and you don't have a packing list. You got to take time, and you got to do a lot of work. No, come to me with, I need my manifest for this bill of lading.
Showing up at the shelter with a box
Come
of
on
puppies.
in. Come on in.
And on the way back,
over there.
And on the way back, the guy's like, "Oh yeah, these puppies are gonna go fast. They'll be right through. They'll be in and out of here." And as you're walking through, he's like, "Yeah, those are the dogs that don't move. Nobody wants that shit. They got nothing to offer, so nobody takes them home. They just live here forever." That's
right.
What the people who just try to fucking walk in with no effort get.
Yep.
Hang out in a containment yard and wait. That's your option. I'm sorry.
No, I do think that immigration is on either side of the aisle is a topic that is probably going to be discussed.
Now, I don't really care. It doesn't affect me really worth a shit.
Nor does it affect me.
I defend myself here, so I don't really care what comes in. Come on, let's go. Somebody please break in tonight. Please, Daddy needs some fun.
Matt, did you already do your topics?
What's that?
Did you already do your
I'm going to abstain from this because, like I said, I really haven't put much thought into it.
Yeah, cool, right. Man.
So can we do something fun next week, please?
Sure.
All right.
How fun do you want it to be?
Like, what are you thinking? Do you have?
I don't know. Maybe a top 10 list where, say, like Marsh wants us to list our top 10 green
foods.
Top 10 green foods, or what's the best alcohol to mix with Moxie, which I would love to do that list.
I got to look at the calendar. I don't know if I'm in next week or not. I got to check though.
Or we could go to the hat, or we could just, this was a fun. Oh, you want to do Am I the Asshole next week?
We haven't done. Yeah,
we could do some Am I the Assholes.
All right.
Yeah.
Who did we say we wanted to bring in for Am I the Asshole? Was that
it was Tim?
No, we already did.
Kelsey.
Yeah, we gotta wait to bring her back. She was only on last week.
Yeah. She's
I don't know. We could bounce it around
right now too. It's summer.
I'll throw it to the panel in the chat, Lynch. But what about our boy Jeremy?
That would be good.
He'd be a fun ad.
Off of him. Yeah, I'll bounce it off of him.
All right, we'll do that, guys. Don't forget, if you like to see Corey Huffnagel embarrassed to the fullest extent of the law, tomorrow night on the Speedway Review is Stump Stat Boy. I have 13 questions. I don't know if anybody sent any to Herm.
No.
No? Well, fuck him then. I'll embarrass the Stat Boy. I'll win more beer. I don't give a fuck. But we're gonna have fun. Stump Stat Boy, the racing Rain Man, will try to take me down in the world of trivia. And by that I mean I'm asking the questions. I'm not battling him. That'd be dumb.
Oh, yeah, that you don't. No.
No, if he and I went to
What if you guys use knives? That could
be fun.
There you go. There you go. Now you're talking. Now it's a sport.
Guns for show,
That's
knives
sport.
for a pro. Yeah,
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Do
saying.
you want to know
We're
why
getting
I
close.
use a knife?
We're getting fucking close and do knives. I got to be honest. I like
Right?
knives. You got to get real fucking close. I like it.
Guns are too quick.
Sorry.
With a knife, you can savor the nuances.
I heard somebody say that on a TV show once.
I used to work with a guy who said he was the number 2 rated knife fighting champion in Arizona. I'm like, you're the number 2 rated knife fighting champion. I'm like,
Yeah, I killed the number 1.
how does that work exactly? Or,
I didn't die.
Right?
You're number 1.
Right? I'm number 1. I'm number 2.
I've got the
right.
number 1 headband.
I'm number 2. Shouldn't you be fucking dead?
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
that's what
at.
I'm
Like,
thinking.
Are you using chalk knives or what the fuck?
2 men enter, 1 man leave.
Shouldn't you be fucking dead? Like,
Yeah,
isn't it
right
like
from the
Highlander?
Thunderdome,
What the
bitch.
fuck?
That's kind of where I was at with that. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anywho,
It's like being a
Yeah, I
supporting actor in a snuff film.
Yeah.
yeah, I got fluffer this week.
I'm the second, you know.
Are
I'm
you
the
quite there yet?
I came in
Really?
second at the duel.
Right?
yeah.
Alan Butler.
Are you trying to fucking kill me?
No, I'm trying to kill Marsh. It's just your collateral damage at this point.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, am I the asshole? Sounds good.
Dude, what the fuck? Are you okay? The first time ever for Marsh with this question. Matt, are you gonna die?
Eventually.
Well, today, please don't die.
Please.
Nah, not today. Nope.
So
be
yeah, all right.
continued.
We can do some. You know what? We can make it a menagerie. You want to bring in some "Am I the Assholes?" Lynch? You bring in some
Sure.
"Am I the Assholes?" I may do
A
some "Hey
menagerie, like a
Stupids."
threesome?
No, that's a menage a trois. Thank
Nausea
you.
Deuce.
Maybe I'll bring in some "Hey
Naga Un.
Stupids," and Herm
Ooh.
can herm it.
Heard.
You give Herm rules, he's going to change the fucking rules anyway.
I don't give a fuck about rules.
That's what I'm saying, yo. But if you tuned in, thank you. If you tuned in late and you're watching this another day, thank you again. Come back next week. Tomorrow night again is Stump Stat Boy on the Speedway Review. One more week until racing. Well, less than 1 week till racing comes back. So gonna be a fun little time, and Herm's gonna complain about it the entire fucking time.
Probably.
He'd be happier if he wants the chicken first.
This has been his favorite 2 weeks of the show season.
It has. It totally has. It totally has.
Dude, do like me.
Like I would like to. I'd like to ask that we have Olympics every year. Just saying.
I would punch you in the butt. And you know what? Actually, no, I wouldn't, because these 2 weeks have been
We
Quite
I'm
nice
supposed to
without
just have
racing.
a 2-week NASCAR break, just straight up.
yes.
Every year.
You know what? Bring that up in news and notes. Here's my suggestion. We should have a 2-week break every year. Give these guys a rest. Give us a rest. Just give everybody a rest.
Everybody everybody shuts the fuck up for 2 weeks. Nobody's bitching and moaned about the tire was rubbing and the defender got worked and I don't like the surface or the potholes. The sun was in my eye. Shut the fuck up.
You'd think that maybe they'd fix that one little bump at Dover. No, that bump is there for a reason,
For a reason, eat it.
right? Suck it sideways. You want a really poor racing surface? Go race through Greenville.
NASCAR, the biggest bunch of crybaby fans.
You know what? I never knew it until you came on the show and you're pointing this out. I'm like, he's entirely fucking right. But I still love it. We're still going to do the show every Wednesday night.
Word.
So, you guys, thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Judgment falls upon you at first light. I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful one. In the blackest moment of a dying world, what have you
For a political party that has been so against walls for the last 8 years, Kamala sure was quick to pick Walls as her running mate. Just saying.